Okay, so we're going to have a quick look at the video editor that's built into Blender. So it's a little bit like Final Cut Pro or Premiere, reasonably feature-rich program that you can use to edit your videos. So you'll find it's a window type here, Video Sequence Editor, but another thing to look at is up the top here you can change different layouts that Blender has sort of pre-built within the program, depending on what you're actually using Blender for at the time, and one of them here is a video editor layout. So if I change to video editing, I get a preview of my movie here. I add my video strips down the bottom here, and this we'll learn about this in a future video. It's for easing and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to click on add and add a movie. Okay, so I've just got an MOV file here that's come straight off my camera. Add movie strip, and this is it sitting here, and I can see a video track and an audio track, and I can drag this green line around to control the preview where I want to look at it. Now you can see by default, if I move my mouse up to the start of the video, I can look here. I'm actually sitting on frame 70 at the moment, or down here as well. It shows me I'm on frame 70. Presumably we want our videos to start at frame 1, so I'm just going to hit G to grab this with the mouse hovering over it and move it back so it starts on frame 1. Okay, and then if I wanted to start cutting and editing more videos, I can just keep adding them in. I'll leave you to explore that. But one thing you're going to need to know for some of the tutorials coming up is how to output this movie file as a sequence of images. So that's just what I want to cover now. So we'll leave it at that for learning the sequence editor. Okay, so if I go to the end of my movie, it ends somewhere around 164, frame 164. So I'll just go back to my default layout, and here in my scene, click on the camera. I need to set up the size of the movie that I'm going to save, the start and end frame. I'll put the end frame in now, so 164 is the end of my current video sequence, and then the output down the bottom. What we're going to be covering soon is bringing video into Blender to combine with 3D graphics, and when you do that, Blender likes you to use a sequence of images rather than a MOV or an AVI file. So to do that, I'm going to choose a still image format, PNG or JPEG. I'll go with JPEG. Choose where I want to save these images to. Now it's going to output, whoops, as I can see here, this is one I've done before, it outputs a whole bunch of JPEG files. So wherever you save this to now, you want to make sure that you've got it, I'd say, sitting in a folder just for the image sequence. Okay, give it a name here. Alright, so it's going to save a bunch of JPEGs into the folder I've chosen there. Just under my size here, it's a good idea to, well, I would say you would want to output your video at the same size as the original, output your images at the same size. So I'm just going to have a look here at my movie, my original movie. Okay, so this is it sitting here. Oops. And I'll right click, say get info, and it's telling me here the movie is 1920 by 1080 pixels. Depending on your computer, you'll find that in a different place. You can probably get it off your camera as well, but you'll need to know what the dimensions are. So 1920 by 1080, and mine's already set up at those dimensions. The only other thing I need to do is change this slider up to 100. If I leave this on 50, it'll actually render at 50% of the size that I've put in here. So I want to render the full size, 1920 by 1080, and that's it. I just click on animation and it'll start saving out those JPEG files.